What's up guys, it's Max from PGR Tech here, and today I'm going to be showing you a £1,700 PC with the new Radeon VII graphics card. The overall aesthetic of this PC is pretty minimal, but you can always change a few things up to add some RGB or your own aesthetic to it, as this is just a suggestion on which areas you should spend your budget most on, and overall giving you my opinion on the parts I've chosen and why you should at least consider including them in your upcoming PC build. The total for this PC build will be just under £1,700, but remember, these are current prices and the total of this build may vary as time goes on. As always, we'll start with the CPU. I've chosen the Ryzen 7 2700X, which is the highest model in the Ryzen 7 lineup. Being the X model, it is slightly higher clocked than the standard 2700 and so provides a little extra performance out of the box. The CPU has 8 cores and 16 threads with a base clock of 3.7 GHz and a boost clock of 4.3 GHz. Keep in mind that this CPU has a TDP of 105 watts, so if you're going to use a different cooler to what I'm going to suggest, make sure it is capable of providing enough cooling to keep the 2700X stable. At £277, this is definitely some competition for the i5 9600K at around £250 and the i7 8700K at around £320. The 2700X also comes with a stock cooler, which the other Intel options don't, and has more cores and threads. Because of this, the 2700X or the 2700 are much better value for the money when it comes to that price point for a CPU in early 2019. As we aren't going to be using the stock cooler that comes with the CPU, I chose the Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro 4 to cool our beast of a CPU. This monster of a CPU cooler comes in at only £64, making this in my opinion one of the best coolers on the market for the price. Being from Be Quiet, the quality of this product is very high, especially the fans that come included. The Silent Wings fans truly are silent, and the minimal black colour scheme makes it perfect for almost every build. One thing to note is the size. It's massive. The huge heatsink and the double fan layout performs very well at such a low noise level, but this comes at a cost. This cooler will take up most of the top half of your motherboard, bearing in mind that this means you have to be careful when choosing your RAM, as if they're especially high, the cooler won't be able to be mounted properly. There are two ways to solve this problem. You could either use low profile RAM like the Corsair LPX series, which we've gone with for this build, or you could get the Dark Rock 4 cooler instead of the Pro version. This cooler is smaller but still has the basic functions and features that the Pro version offers. The non-Pro cooler has only one fan, meaning it takes up much less horizontal space, and RAM clearance shouldn't really be an issue with that cooler. The Dark Rock Pro 4 can be mounted on either Intel based or AMD based sockets like AM4 and LGA 1151, making this a very versatile and even budget option that can handle some of the most demanding CPUs on the market. For our motherboard, I chose the ASRock X470 TAICHI Ultimate, offering a great VRM, lots of rear I/O ports, and a minimal design, making this one of the best X470 motherboards out there. The bulky VRM will allow for some decent overclocking if you have adequate cooling. At £234, this is definitely towards the higher side for X470 boards in 2019, but in my opinion you are getting a lot of features and an overall great quality motherboard for the price. For RAM, I've gone with 16GB of Corsair LPX Vengeance RAM at 3200 MHz. These DIMMs are some of the most reliable that you can find, coming from Corsair, and being so simple provides the perfect mixture of great build quality and reliability while being some of the cheapest out there. With no RGB, it fits with our minimal colour scheme, and being low profile means they won't interfere with our huge cooler. With RAM prices down again, the 16GB kit can now be found for under £110, which is so much better than the £200 you used to have to pay to get 16 gigs. Our storage is a fairly basic configuration with a hard drive paired with an SSD. The SEAGATE BARRACUDA at 2TB of space is perfect for all your photos, videos and other mass storage, leaving the 500GB Samsung 860 EVO SSD for your games, Windows for faster booting, and your most used files. With a combined price of around £130, this offers a good amount of storage for a fairly low price. If you feel like you need a bit more storage for your build, feel free to spend a little less on some of the other parts to accommodate your storage needs. For the GPU, I've chosen the new Radeon VII card to power your favourite AAA games. With a price tag of around £700, this card can offer decent performance at 1080p and 1440p resolutions. As for specific benchmarks, you're looking around 100 FPS at 1440p in Apex Legends and around 110 FPS at 1440p in Fortnite. At this price point, its opposition includes the GTX 1080 Ti and is only around 6 to 8% slower in most games. Personally, I would recommend whatever you can get for cheaper between the Radeon 7 and the GTX 1080 Ti, but would probably pay a little extra for the 1080 Ti as it still just about outperforms the new AMD card. The NZXT H500 is the case I've chosen for this minimal build, as it is so clean and budget friendly, making it perfect for so many different builds. Being the matte black colour allows it to be so versatile and is available to most people, being only £70. Ultimately, if you're going to be building a clean and minimal PC, definitely look into the H500 range in the matte black or white options. I highly recommend it and I hope to be using this in the future for my personal build. And finally, powering our system will be the Be Quiet Straight Power 11 650 watt power supply. This PSU is fairly budget friendly for the features that it offers. Being gold certified, it will be very efficient, ultimately saving you more power for only £80. This power supply also makes it really easy to upgrade to some custom cables in the future, as it is fully modular, meaning you can remove every unused cable out of it, making cable management and general cleanliness of your system easier. To round this all up, I think this is a great option if you've got around £1,700 to build a computer. If you think that I should have chosen a different part for the PC, let me know in the comment section down below, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all my future videos. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you in my next video.